You're listening to the Fit in Real Life podcast, episode 425. And today I'm going to share the process that I use to plan and review my years. So every year, about the end of the year or the beginning of the new year, I take some time to pause, reflect, journal, and I ask myself some meaningful questions. I, of course, answer those meaningful questions as well to help me recap the year prior, to learn the lessons, to reflect on the wins, and then also to set meaningful goals for the year to come. I recorded this podcast a few years ago. So when I talk about the dates, just edit it to our current year. And the process is the same though. I've been doing it for quite a few years, and I highly encourage you to pause this episode and listen to it when you have a little bit of time to actually do the work, or listen to the podcast, write down the questions, and then schedule some time to do the actual work, because the goal is not just to listen to the questions. The goal is to actually answer them. Otherwise, you're not going to really get much out of it. All right, let's dive in. Generally, by January, if I have not yet done my plan and review, I all of a sudden feel like I'm behind. And sometimes I get these pop-up thoughts in December thinking, oh my gosh, Tanya, you need to do your planning and review. You haven't done it yet for your personal life, or you need to plan it for your business. And it's kind of a silly thought because there is no behind. And instead of being so stressed out about it and, trying to jam it into your schedule, this is something that we get to do. This is something that we get to have a few minutes to do, and we can keep it super simple. The process I'm going to share with you today is super simple. So if you have not yet done it yet, don't worry, you can still do it. It's not too late to set goals for 2022, to reflect and review on the past year as well. I also am very aware that is just the kind of natural tendency of my brain, is to have these pop-up thoughts, and then all of a sudden I can feel very overwhelmed, or I can feel like I'm behind. And thankfully I have the tools and the skills to work through it. So today in my journal, I did a journal post or journal entry about the feeling, and recognizing that the feeling of overwhelm is a direct result of what I'm focusing on. If I focus on all the things I have not yet done yet, or all the things I could do or should do and have not done yet, then I'm going to feel overwhelmed. And if I focus on the things that I have done and the things that are going well, and I have clarity on realistic goals that I'm going to accomplish today, and everything else I schedule in the future, so it's on the calendar, there is a time set aside for it, but it's not right now, I can move forward without overwhelm. And the funny thing about overwhelm is when we get overwhelmed, we actually are not more productive. It robs us of our productivity. So we have all these things we do, or we need to do, or we want to do, and then yet we're stuck in overwhelm, so we don't do any of it. Or we flip-flop between task to task, and we jump all over the place, and we're just not efficient with our time. So that was my morning this morning. I decided the most important thing this morning was to stretch for 15 minutes and to really focus on my breath, to go for a walk this morning with my son and with Hauser, and now to record this podcast with you. And I've decided that I'm going to do the best I can. If I don't get everything done today, it's okay. It's okay. The sun's going to set. The sun's going to rise tomorrow. Water will still be pouring out of my tap. My toilets will still flush. I don't know, everything will just keep going on. So we ought to just focus on what we can do and taking the next step forward and remembering that we get to do these things. So here we go. Review of 2021 and plan of 2022. I'm going to walk you through the process. I'm also going to share with you some of the things that happened in my year and some of my goals and plans for next year as well. I really do like having examples. When someone tells me something or teaches me something, I like to actually see, okay, what does it look like? Like what's actually on those list of things, not just the theory, but the actual what it looks like. And I find that really helpful. So that's what I'll do with you today too. So the first thing you're going to ask yourself is simply, what went well? What were the wins? What were the memories? And side note, maybe an important side note, that you can do this in a journal, on a blank sheet of paper. I have Word documents that I save in Dropbox on my computer. I have a personal folder, and then I have my business folder, so I do them for both personal and business. That's where I keep it. Don't stop
yourself from doing this because you haven't figured out the perfect way to do it, or the perfect place to do it, or the perfect time to do it, or you're not sure if it should be a journal or handwritten or computer typed, it doesn't matter. Just do it. And it might change over time. So don't let perfection get in the way of actually taking action on this. So take some time. What went well? What were the wins? What were the great memories? Now, as I record this podcast, it's still in December. I have actually not yet done it personally. I've only done it for my businesses. I had a couple hours set aside with my team at Ascend Fitness and Lifestyle on Thursday last week. And then Tanya is my integrator. She's the one who gets things done, makes things happen behind the scenes. We met on the Wednesday and we reviewed the year, we planned the year. We kept it really, really simple. So we asked ourselves, what went well? A couple things for my online business. We really solidified the offerings, the 5-day challenge. I launched the 6-week transformation for the first time. That's gone extraordinarily well. The community at Fit and Vibrant coaching programs has been growing and thriving. It's been amazing. Really getting good at creating systems. That's been a big win for us. And Tanya, the other Tanya, is so organized, and that really helps because we want to systematize things so that we're not always recreating things every time we do it. We launched an ambassador program in the fall, and now I have 5 ambassadors that I'm working with. Ambassadors are women who have gone through Fit and Vibrant over 50, now called Fit and Vibrant Live It, have really engaged in the program and are coming on as ambassadors to help other women, to support other women in the program as well. And that has been incredible. Geraldine, Brenda, Linda, Denise, and Karen, it's been such a pleasure, such an honor to work with you. Tanya and I are working together. We've been working together for, I think, almost 10 years now, but just really continue to do well together as a team to make things happen. And the business grew. It grew quite a bit, which is pretty fantastic. Very, very, very thrilled with the overall results from 2022 from a numbers, a business perspective, all the metrics. And then at Ascend, we did the same thing. And honestly, surviving through COVID has been a big win. Being able to navigate all of the challenges of having a brick and mortar personal training studio when things are changing, like at the weekly level, on the government level, has been a win. We are still open, which is amazing. As a business, there's been lots of challenges, and we were able to make it through. We've had lots of really great positive reviews from our clients. We've had to step back and assess a couple things and reevaluate some things through all of it. We are doing a really great job with our 6-week Fit for Life program at Ascend Fitness and Lifestyle as well. We have onboarded some amazing new team members and really solidifying the systems of training and onboarding our team members because we've had lots of practice in the last little bit. That has been absolutely amazing. I have not yet done this for my personal life, but I can tell you right now there's been a couple of great things. We went to Whistler together as a family, my son, my husband, and I, and our nephew. We spent a week camping in Whistler. We live about 3 hours away from there. I had the most amazing mountain biking adventures when I was there. That was so fun. We did some great hikes there as well. That was definitely a memory to look back on. We had a great snowboarding and skiing season in January, February, and I'm just hoping that the roads open again so we can get back there to Manning Park in January is my hope. Right now, the roads are closed or they're open only to essential traffic because of all the flooding damage that has happened. And some of the roads are just not able to be traveled on right now. So that's been amazing. I have been really consistent with a lot of my health goals and showing up. And my son and I have now completed 2 years, since we just finished our 2-year anniversary. We had our 2-year anniversary of volunteering at the Safe Haven. I think it was this year that we launched the Happy Cat Cookbook, and we raised $1,400 for the Safe Haven. Jacob and I made this little downloadable PDF. If you want to go check it out, it's still up there for sale. Go to happycatcookbook.com. I think it's $7 or $8, and 100% of the money that you purchase the book with goes to the Cat Haven because there's really no overhead. It's a digital download. It's a website. I had to pay for the URL, and that's about it. So that is there. That was a big win for us. We've done lots of activities and hikes together, which has been amazing this past year. My husband and I have continued to work on our relationship, which has been a win. A lot of the wins too that when you're going to do this reflection are not going to be necessarily new things. You also want to celebrate the things that you have just stuck with. Maybe you always work out and you have done for years. Like, still celebrate that, reflect on that. I think it's really important that we do that. Now, the next question after the what went well is, what are the challenges? What are the things that might have tripped you up this year? I mean, on the online business side of things, one big thing was COVID. We actually have about 15 different challenges here, which we're going to now work through into the new year. So challenges sometimes are the jumping off point to where you want to focus your attentions on to either grow or to overcome some of these challenges for the next year coming. So we've definitely had some challenges with COVID, with our staffing as well through it. There's been a huge shortage of employees in British Columbia, and I think other parts of Canada as well. It's just been challenging to find amazing people, and now we have, so I'm so grateful for that. It's just been a challenging year because of COVID, to be perfectly honest. And you can do this through your personal life. I have not yet done it through my personal life. I think COVID will play a part of that as well. There was lots of restrictions on travel for this year. There still is restrictions on travel, getting together with friends and family. That's been challenging in my personal life, all of our personal lives. My husband has had some ups and downs at work and some really challenging times for him in his work. And that has been a bit more challenging for our relationship and just spending the time together and being fully present, because sometimes when you are worried or thinking about other things, it's just really more challenging to be present in the moment. So those kind of things have been challenging for us. And for the online business, for Fit and Vibrant coaching programs, there hasn't been so many big challenges, more just the natural things that you're going to stumble upon as you grow. There are growth opportunities. There is lots of little things that happen along the way, but nothing this year has been completely derailed us or anything. There's no big thing that happened. There has been lots of little challenges along the way. You can ask yourself questions like, what did you learn about yourself? How did you grow this year? If we're working together, there has been a lot of growth for you. I mean, just think, even in a few weeks, if you have the 6-week transformation, how far you can grow, how much you can change in just a few weeks. If you did the 5-day challenges with me, how much of an impact that can make when you integrate that into your life. So what were some of the learning opportunities? How did you grow? I keep my review really simple. When I do it with my family, we make it just a big list of everything we want to remember. Examples from the past could be Jacob doing a concert, or he once did a dance at the talent show by himself, which was amazing. Trips that we went on. I asked Jacob, I asked Keith, we do it all together as a family. It's just been a really awesome opportunity to do that. And when you do have that, especially if you do it with others, have fun with it. Make it a little bit of an experience. You can have a cup of tea together, or if you're into wine, have a glass of wine together. Give yourself an hour and do it. It's really quite fun. And it's a great opportunity also to build stronger relationships with your loved ones, to share this together. I mean, I was just thinking about some of the things on the way home today from my walk, and I had totally forgotten that I went to Whistler. And now that I'm recording this podcast, I was trying to think about some of the things that happened in 2022. And it's so easy to forget the things that happened until we take the time to reflect on them. And then we can also reflect on them as from years to come by looking at that document that you created for yourself. Now, I like review. I love planning. I love planning. It's my favorite. I get so jazzed. And I love that it happens in December for my businesses. It's like the most wonderful time of the year. It's Christmas. There's red cups at Starbucks. There's peppermint things going on. And I get to plan. It is fantastic. So you might want to start with a theme or an overall intention for the new year. Some people use theme words. For example, a word could be clarity. It could be to simplify. It could be growth, creativity, organization. As unsexy as that is, being organized and organizing your life is so liberating. I'm doing a bit of a purge right now in organization in our house. My husband and I started with my office closet, and then we went through every part of the house, and it feels so good. Maybe your theme is to come home to yourself. Maybe it's inspiration, focus, adventure, connection, presence, slowing down. Maybe your theme for 2022 is health. Maybe it's showing up. Maybe it's giving back. I have not yet determined my own focus for 2022 when it comes to my personal life, my personal self. I have some goals I'm continually working on, and they're going to expand into 2022. I know for Ascend, my business here in Chilliwack, one of the big focuses is simplification and back to basics. It's been 2 years of really just reacting to all of the COVID things. And now I feel like we have a bit of space to focus on getting back to the basics, getting back to the routines, sort of redefining who we are, what we do after COVID, because some things have changed. For my online business, it's growth. We have really dialed in a lot of the systems in 2021. And this year, I want to grow. I do. I want to reach more women. I want to speak this message of health and real health and giving yourself permission to feel good in your body. I have one thing that's going to be happening in 2022 that I have not announced yet, but that is on my plan. I'm super excited. So I'll keep you posted, and I'll tell you more in the months to come. But you can have ideas of like what you might want. What are the overall theme? What's the overall theme for 2022? You can also start by asking yourself, what do you want the feelings to be for this year? Because when we pursue goals, we're not pursuing goals because of the actual thing. It's because we want to feel a certain way. What is that thing going to bring us? Is it freedom? Is it connection? Is it joy? What does that look like? And you might want to think about different areas of your life as well. Think about your relationships, maybe your family, your friends, extended family. You can think about your romantic relationship. You can think about your career. Maybe one of your arenas or areas of life is learning or adventure. It's your spiritual health and your relationship with God or your spirit guides or Mother Nature. Maybe it's giving back, serving others. So think about those arenas of your life and what do you want it to feel like? And then what are some of the things that you might want for those? For learning, does it mean that you want to read 10 books this year or a book a month? That's 12 books. It's kind of the same. Or a book a week if you're really ambitious. Maybe you have a creativity goal where you want to paint more or you want to write. I have been pondering the idea and dabbling in the idea of writing more as well. However, the reality is I also have a big growth goal, and I'm not sure if I can do both at the same time and be fully present with my family and take care of my health. So we'll see. When you start writing down what you might want for 2022, it's not a commitment to do everything. It's a brainstorm. It doesn't have to say, just because I wrote down, I must do it. But it's just starting. And then you can pare it down and decide what's realistic. What are the most important things? What are the priorities? What are the bonus items? If we are working together in Fit and Vibrant Live It this month or last month, December, we did a deep dive workshop on creating the life you want. If you did not attend it live, I highly recommend going back and watching the recording. That one we do a lot more training, a lot more in-depth coaching on how this process works and how to make that happen. I don't know if you just hear all this kind of stuff. I just dropped my phone in front of me here. And then for me, a lot of my goals are the same as they were last year. For my own health and well-being, my 3 areas of focus right now, or my 3 big goals I'm focusing right now is business, is my own health and well-being, and another goal is really my relationship, my connection with my feminine self. I have definitely spent a lot of my years being very linear, very masculine driven, maybe very like task orientated. And I'm trying to step back from that and be a little bit more feminine with myself. And then possibly, like I said, creating a book as well. Writing a book might be there too. We'll see. I'm not going to overcommit myself though. And whatever I do, I'm going to have fun with it. A lot of my goals for business are the same. As they often are, just slightly different, specifics of what we're actually doing. So, for example, for my online business, I've mapped out 2022 when things are happening. We have some hiring goals as well and things like projects to support our growth goals, but that's going to be happening in 2022. And then for Ascend, we break it down, our goals. And I don't know why I don't do this for my online business for Fit and Vibrant coaching. I think partly because it's newer than Ascend, and Ascend, I've just been doing these things for so long. It's just what we've always done. But definitely I could start to apply some of these principles to my online business as well. What went well here? What went well? I'm reading a piece of paper. I'm actually not talking about what I'm supposed to be talking about. Some of the areas that we focus on for business are growth. So for Ascend, it's different growth goals in terms of number of clients, financial goals as well. Client experience always has a goal there, and some action items related to that. We have a team appreciation, a team growth goal. So that's an area of focus. A systems goal, and that is just how we actually do things. That includes a lot of organization as well. And then also a community or a give back goal as well. So that's how we do it on the business side of things. For yourself, it is maybe going by the life arenas or those areas of life that you want to focus on, your roles in life, whether you're a grandmother or a mom. I guess you could be both. And if you're a grandmother, you're probably a mom too. The different areas of your life, which I already referred to, what do you want in each of those? And then finally is to start to map it out. So the things that are the priorities, when might they happen? We have some travel plans for 2022 we're starting to look at, and it's actually been really helpful because I've been planning my work calendar around those travel plans. I want to take a week off in March break and ideally go somewhere warm. We're thinking Palm Springs. And this summertime, as much as we love camping in British Columbia and exploring here, we also have a desire to go explore the east coast of Canada. So we might do that this year. So starting to map that out, starting to schedule it in as best as you can. And remember, the plan is not there to follow it to a T. It's to give you a jumping off point. You can always pivot, but it's a lot easier to pivot from a plan than just to all of a sudden forget that you had plans, or you forget that you set goals but never have it on your calendar at all. And one of the most important things when it comes to planning and review is to look at your plan and review on a regular basis. If you only ever do it once a year, I guarantee by February or March, you are going to forget. So have it in your calendar every month, every quarter. Maybe it's a weekly thing, just to simply glance at your goals and do a quick assessment. Where am I at? Does anything need to be done? Is it scheduled in? If it doesn't get scheduled in, if it's not on your calendar, guess what? It doesn't get done. And if these are important to you, put them on your calendar. It could be a great opportunity for you to meet as a family or with your spouse or with yourself. Take yourself out on a date and take out your journal, take out that document, just reflect on it, and then make plans for the next little bit, because it is kind of hard to plan an entire year in advance. Obviously, things change, but you can plan maybe 90 days at a time, and you can maybe have a skeleton for the whole year, but then you can break it down and you can fill in the gaps and fill in the details as you come closer to the time. All right, that is the process. It's super, super simple. The magic happens, though, is when you actually do it. So right now, stop playing this podcast, press pause, press stop, and go block off that time in your calendar. If it's for your personal self, give yourself an hour. An hour is great. If you have to, wonderful. An hour is enough, though, to simply just reflect on the day, on the year, think about what you might want for the new year. And maybe you want to go for a walk before, just to dream a little bit, wherever you get some inspiration. I get a lot of my inspiration when I'm out in nature, so that helps me a lot.
All right, my friends, that is it for today. I hope you enjoy that process. I have not yet done this process as I am releasing this episode. However, this week I have planned a weekend away with Keith. We're going to go to Bowen Island, just the two of us. And I'm going to take my journal. I'm going to take my new journal with me because I'm almost done my old journal. I'm going to take these questions and spend some time to reflect while I am away. Have a wonderful week. I believe this podcast is being released on the week of Christmas. If you are celebrating Christmas, enjoy the holidays. I've done lots of podcasts you can listen to on how to enjoy the holidays and stay on track and how to feel good about your choices. So you can search for them on my website. I really do wish you an amazing week. Talk to you soon.